Oh, that's hot.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Nothing's Wrong podcast. I'm Isabel.
And I am Catherine.
And make sure as you're coming in, you're liking, you're sharing. You guys know the drill. We don't have to say it all the time, but you know we will, just to stay efficient.
Exactly. You better come on and come check us out. Come check out our social medias.
Mm-hmm.
Hit them up, and go ahead and hit on our audio as well. And thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the love button because we love when you guys get involved and hit loves, hit likes, and let us know you're in here because it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, we're going to be chatting it up. We're going to be
like
talking
we
about
are
a lot
every
of things.
Every
weekend. You know how it is. I don't know what kind of accent I have today, but I'm going to cut it out because it ain't cute.
You do a lot of things, honey.
Yes.
That ain't that cute. Cheers.
Oh, wow. Cheers.
I'm kidding.
Sparkling water today.
Yes. Sparkling water.
Yes.
So, as we wait for you guys to come in here before a topic that was suggested to us by one of the viewers, shout out to you, talking about baby boomers. And this is I guess everybody can get in on the conversation. It's not just a African American conversation, melanated conversation.
It's everybody. It's the baby boomers. They need to hear it. You know what? I'm sick and tired of hearing their little crybaby ways and all this other stuff. So we're gonna actually.
You're sick and tired.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired.
You already got an opinion.
Yeah. I think that they need to advance their thoughts and just be more
open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think that's the only suggestion I have for them. Yeah. And so we're going to be talking about the baby boomers, and we want to know how you guys feel about the baby boomers. Are you a baby boomer? What generation are you part of? Well, I'm a millennial. So
me too. Yeah. Which I love growing up in that generation of having both the internet and not having the internet.
Yeah, I remember
seeing the production of that integrating into our lives. That's something that is special. Yeah. Seeing the year turn 2000.
Oh yeah.
That was a huge thing. I remember we did a whole 2000 collection when I don't remember what grade I was in. I was a baby. I was young.
When it was 2000, yeah.
Yes. But I remember that. And I think it's a very special time. And that's why a lot of, you would say, baby boomers, or I don't even know technically what generation they are. So what are the generation of baby boomers? What
let us know, guys.
Technically called. You can look it up right now.
Yeah, I definitely can. But I wanted to know what they thought of it. You know, some people are faster than you. Let's see.
But you can just look it up. Anyways, but they definitely have a different way of life than we as millennials forward have a way of thinking. And that is why a lot of those older generations, older than millennials, they don't like.
I got what year.
Okay.
So it says that the baby boomers are from
Gen X.
Yeah. Well,
1985.
Yeah, 1965 to 1980. So that's kind of like
right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So they're right before us.
Right.
So we have a problem with y'all because y'all the one that made these decisions that are going on now, and we don't have a real big problem with you because people are different people, but there's a lot of things about the generation. They're very set in their ways because of the things that they've learned and from their generation before that. And so
I think a lot of what I've learned from being around baby boomers, which you would say, they don't like millennials because we look at life very differently. Like, we're not going to stay at a job for 20 years. We're not going to, think the same way that they did of what success is, or what is their limitations, or what is reality, or the decisions that they made, or any of those things. I feel as though we are more of a different, I mean, we're in the Aquarian age, but also there are baby boomers out there that are really, enlightened and were great philosophers and really paved the way, especially in the Black community, for them to know about a lot of the conscious things. Like we had last week when Jake Peak was here, we were talking about Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic and all these people who were out here spreading the words, and they're baby boomers as well. But even in their generation, I feel as though, But anyways,
you feel as though, what?
Yeah, what everything I just said. Everything I just said.
Well, I'm gonna say, like, at first I was like, I have a problem with you guys, but I'm like, no, I don't, because you guys, actually, the baby boomers, they've taught us a lot. They've taught us what we are today, who we are today, and not really, but in a way of like advancing us a little bit. And the Steve Jobs, there's a lot of people who are baby boomers that, made differences in this world.
Right.
But there's a lot of them who,
sorry guys. Give us a second. Kind of got offline right here. Woo. Give us a second. On. Okay, guys, sorry for that hiccup, but we are back on.
Yeah. So as you all are in here, hit the love button. Let us know that you're here. How do you feel about this conversation about the baby boomers? If you are a baby boomer, like, what do you feel? And I know sometimes you guys just watch to watch, so I could be talking about as well.
No, but anyways, they usually have a problem with the way that millennials look at life and the way we go about living life, because like I said, we don't believe, they're the ones who kind of got us stuck into the social, like we're paying for their social security.
Yeah.
Because we know now the world is not going to be the same way that it was when they were here. So we're not going to get those same work for 30 years, 40, whatever, how many years, and get retired and collect this money that you got for retirement. That's not a reality, especially for the ones behind us. So they're not going to work for us to receive that. So we know that. And it's because they fell for that trick, that idea that the generations were going to do that. Like they fell for a lot of tricks because we didn't have information or the internet or things like that for them to really go back and look. And then again, we have to think about drugs in the community. We have to think about, all the propaganda that was being pushed forth. We have to think about just a lot of things that were there to create roadblocks and stop the Black melanated people in America to succeed.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get into the video that we have, I would definitely love to get into that. This was sent to us by one of our listeners. So we're going to add that. Hold on. Hold it. All right, guys. So let's get into this video. Sorry.
Okay, this is the Black baby boomer community philosophy as a whole, meaning the philosophy of the Black baby boomers of the Black community. Let's just say it like that. The philosophy of the Black community boomer generation. I hope that's a codified title, okay? So the philosophy of the Black community boomer generation. And that one philosophy was one word: individualism, okay? individualism, the failure of too much individualism. Okay, that's the best way I can say it. I had to really think about it. I said, what is the core thing that failed the black baby boomer, the entire community, the whole generation, was individualism. Too much of it. They had too much individualism. All they thought about was themselves. They did not think about the next man or the next woman. They didn't think about their parents. They damn sure didn't think about their kids. All they thought about was themselves. That's my assessment of it. And you can still see it now to this day. What does the boomers tell you to do? What? Be quiet, shut up, don't fight white supremacy. Just do you. They brought into that mindset. Do you. Go get yours. Get yours, get mine. I'm going to get mine and damn everybody else. That's exactly their thinking. And they're still thinking like that right now. Look at the current people that...
Let's stop right there. And I want to stop right there because I don't really see a problem in that. Mm-hmm. That right there, that part, I don't know what he says in the rest of the part, that he's going to lay some examples down. Mm-hmm. But from that part right there, I feel as though you need to have that idea of no matter what's going on around you, you have to do for self first. Because like in any situation, if you yourself aren't good, if you don't have yourself together, if you don't have your mind together, if you're not physically together, if you're not 100% whole, whoever you go against has the ability to take you down. So it would be ridiculous to send an untrained warrior out to fight, an untrained mind out to go speak for you, untrained anything to do anything. So I do believe in always working on self before you go and try to help others, because you end up only bringing yourself down even more and not actually setting out your goals to help people. So in that idea, I do believe that, yes, individualism, meaning work on yourself first, get yourself on first, so then you can teach others or show others the way. So, and you can't do that fight in every battle. You can't, but what do you think?
Well, I think that the individualism that you're saying is correct, but you got to remember that these baby bloomers, especially the melanated...
Baby bloomers. Are you saying bloomers?
Bloomers. A lot of them melanated were actually fathers. They were, creating people in this world, and they were so busy thinking about them individual self that they would leave their family, that they wouldn't take care of responsibility. But that is exactly what was happening during that time. A lot of people lost their families because that's what they were pushing, that individualism.
In that case, yes.
And that is what caused a bigger problem.
But that is community. To people who should have never took the responsibility as well. I think the idea, that's like giving somebody an idea and saying, okay, you have to do this, but not giving them the full scope of what that means. Mm-hmm. That means understanding that if you can't take on a responsibility, don't put it on your plate. If you're not equipped or wanting or needing to have a child, do not have a child.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go on. Maybe it's me.
It's in office. Look at the current politicians. Look at the current leaders. They're not thinking about the next generation. All they're doing is thinking about themselves. Mm-hmm. How do I keep Social Security for me? I tell you what I'll do. I'll borrow money from China. We don't have any money to pay. Not we, as far as the Black community. When I say we, I'm not saying America, because the concept of America doesn't really exist, okay? And that's logic. But as far as the United States doesn't have any money to pay the next generation, all the borrowing they're doing is for the boomers. That's it, period. The debt that they made, the Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z is going to have to pay it. The wars they started, that they're still fighting.
Right.
Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z is going to have to stop it. The poverty that they're creating, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z is going to have to solve it.
Right.
I really can't think of really a lot that they've done other than smartphones. And I'll give Steve Jobs and all those guys that. But as far as on a community level, family level, tangible things for the Black community, no, they didn't do it. It's all individualism. Individualism. I have a guy that I had to cut off about 4 months ago. He's a boomer. And I was trying to listen to him. But his words were exactly, Alpha, what you need to do is just worry about you. Don't worry about nobody else. Do you, sit in your house, live your life, and then that's it. And I'm like, dude, I still get profiled. Dude, I still get pulled over by cops. Dude, I still get racial discriminated when I go to certain places and I shop. I can't just sit in my house and do me because I don't want my son, my grandson, my great-grandson to be dealing with that. So that's the failure of the Black baby boomer generation as a whole. Too much individualism. What does the code say? The code says what? United, independent. Yes, we're all independent individuals, but we need to be united behind a cause. And the cause that we're united behind, XYZ, is Black empowerment. They were behind Black de-empowerment, okay? Literally, everything that they did was tear stuff down. And that's what we're trying to build and repair now. And in order for us to repair it, we got to remove the problem. And they are the problem. The whole Black baby generation as a whole. Not all. I said 20% is on code. That's your Dr. Fuller, your John Henry Clark, your Dr. Wilson, your Dr. Small, Dr. Kaba. You do have a good 20% that's on code, but 80% of them, we got to go. They got to go. We got to let them go. Anyway, Alpha First One, Black Philosopher. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Be doers. That's what philosophers are. We do. We don't just bullshit all day. Be a doer. Alpha First One, Black Philosopher. Peace.
Okay. So that was a lot.
Yeah, that was.
How do you feel about what he said?
Well, I feel like they're searching for someone to make a difference, right? Because of what they've done. And yeah, there's a lot of things that they've done independently and has caused our generation to suffer and have to accept a lot of BS that comes upon us because like even our judgment on politics is because of the baby boomers. We think it's this way and that way. And it's just like, yes. And it's up to us to fix it or the next generation to fix it. But
I think it's up to the individual. I think that, and shout out to Ibrahim saying, hi, ladies. Thank you for last week. I had a great time with you guys. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in every week. Thank you for supporting us. And last week was amazing. So I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. But yes, I think like all of that was being said, I understand that. Mm-hmm. And I also know they didn't have all of the information and they were put with so much fake news, what we would call, and they just didn't have all of like even now, like if you really talk to a lot of baby boomers or like he said, the majority who are very mainstream and like sheep, their mentality of thinking is not even independent. Like I know, like even during the whole election term with the whole Trump thing and stuff like that, people didn't even know why they didn't even like Trump. And it was just, oh, he's a Republican, he's white, he's rich, he's the problem. Nobody looked into what he did in his career, in his past, that was actually, this is the thing. And the crazy thing of it is, because I always say this, is that a lot of the things that what he's saying, what he would want is a very conservative mindset. If we're going to put it in a political stance. And the way the baby boomers moved is very democratic.
Yeah.
where democratically you're getting like a carrot and a stick. Like, they're gonna beat you with the stick, but I'm gonna act like I'm your friend. Whereas though the whole conservative mindset of, taking care of your own community, less government, you being in charge, you putting yourself in the correct positions of power, you maintaining your home and your family and your tribe and your people. Black Americans don't have that sense of family to their counterpart, to their Black or counterpart. Not the same way where an Asian person sees their Asian counterpart and says, I'm going to look out for this person. A Mexican person sees their Mexican counterpart and they look out for that person. I've seen that happen multiple times, all the time. And then when you're faced with your Black counterpart, sometimes, yes, you will get that. And then more times than I would love to admit, you get the opposite. And it's a bad reaction.
I can see that, but I can also see, like, because I've seen when a lot of our people, melanated people, get together, they're always saying, hey, what's up? Like, everybody's connected, laughing, jokes, everybody knows.
Right, but you have to think about what kind of people are those people. Those people aren't necessarily, that's the people that you may come across because of the circles you're in, the energy that you're in. Yeah. But you got to think about when you're not in that energy, when you're not around happier people who are successful and doing things with their lives. Mm-hmm. That's a difference in situations. But anyways, it past that.
Okay.
Go ahead on your point.
No, I'm just saying, like, I've noticed that there's a lot of melanated people who are really, like, on point with coming up with,
like he said, they're on code. Yeah. They know what's up. But again, is that the majority? And it's not the majority. No, and that is the issue that's happened, especially from Black Wall Street. I know we didn't get deep into this, but this is coming from segregation, desegregation, all of the fake Black leaders, all of the leaders that are now super fake, all of, the Oprahs, all these fake puppets that are there to make you.
Now you can't never meet up with Oprah.
Do I care?
That's the individualism.
But that's the thing. It's like, just because that's most people's dream, that doesn't have to be my dream. Yeah, right. That doesn't have to be something that I aspire to. Was I ever thinking about doing that? I can see you.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And people can see you. Those people aren't going to stay where they're at forever. Like, this new generation, we have eyes. We can see what you guys can't see. This is why a lot of this is going to get weird. And this is why we did have the show last week with JP coming on. And make sure you check out that episode talking about spirituality and witches and warlocks and all that stuff. The reason why we had those things is because that's what's opening up. The world the veil is dropped down. People are not going to sit down and take your Christianity and take your words of your Democratic politicians and your, fake world leaders and this fake organization that they got going on. People are waking up. The new generation is completely waking up. And the ones that are being made now are going to wake up even more. And so that way of thinking of Oprah being, God is gone. It's gone. We can see through you. We've seen her sitting down with Harvey Weinstein.
And the crazy thing is, like, the same thing goes with the other lady, Ellen DeGeneres. Right. Like, people seen through her as well. Right. Now her show's being done, and she's like, oh, all my staff like hate me and all that stuff like that because you weren't a good person.
Right. And you got called out. Everybody's being exposed. So if you're being exposed, do I care? Like, and that's the thing when you're living in your own lane. Yeah. And we were kind of talking about this as well, like not chasing a scene. Right. And and realizing, and this is kind of off topic, but it's like the same thing where it's like the new generation is not going to do the same thing that the last generation did because we see the flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And why would we repeat it?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that they did and they believed in has hurt us tremendously in the long run. Social Security, that whole idea is just the whole Black community really falling for the welfare scam that separated the men and the women,
mm-hmm.
them falling for the segregation scam
mm-hmm.
when they said, let's stop segregation. Because actually, if we look into the facts, and I wish I had them, but you can, look up what I say, segregation was actually making Black people more money.
Mm-hmm.
We were but through Black Wall Street, by only shopping with ourselves as a community,
mm-hmm.
we were making more money, and we were coming close to the white wealth in America, the way that we were rising so quickly when we did have the ability, even if we were segregated, when we did have the ability to have stores to do that stuff, we were coming so close to their money,
mm-hmm.
their power, because money is power,
right.
that they said, no, we need to now do this no segregation stuff.
Yeah, we need to connect.
We need to put us together.
Mm-hmm.
And even if these white boys, rednecks, KKKs want to kill them, we don't care because we need their money. And that's why they said how to sell to the Negro, because it was a marketing scheme. It was a way to get your money. And the funny thing of it is, because they didn't say, okay, segregation is done, we can come shop at your store. No, they said segregation is done, come shop with us.
Yeah.
That's the finesse.
Mm-hmm. That's the
scam. And that's what they didn't see. Now, us as the younger generation, we could see the finesse because
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's clear you can't hide, especially if you have eyes to see.
Right.
So, yeah. What do you think?
I think everything you said is like 100%
right.
Factual.
And they mask it. They mask it with
course.
Martin Luther King. They mask it with this and stuff like that. Like the whole idea, and this is why I can't get down with Democrats or liberals or the left, is because of the idea of I'm a victim, I'm oppressed. Who is like that is not me. I don't live my life, and that's where he said like, oh, I still get stopped and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I'm a strong believer in your mind, your mental
mm-hmm.
will become your reality.
Yeah.
So if you walk around with the idea of oppression, please believe the universe will do you a big favor and give you that oppression. But go ahead. I know that's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but that is the actual fact of that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I think that is exactly what it is. It's like your mindset is exactly what your reality will become. You feel oppressed, you're going to get oppressed. You feel racism, you're going to get racism. You like all of these things. But if you live in a life of happiness, like every time I go outside, I live in my space, and everybody who comes in my space, they're always joyful, they're always kind and sweet and everything. And even the ones that don't pay attention to my hellos, like I don't care. I move on and I continue my day. I don't get affected by someone who wants to have a bad behavior, right. Bad attitude and all that stuff like
who
that.
Wants to be ignorant.
Yeah.
So that's the part where I'm like, I don't believe, because it's like, that's a never-ending fight. So because somebody doesn't like me, see, this is a problem that I have with the marching. This is a problem because it's stupid. It's immature. No, it really is. And it's screaming, I'm a victim. Do you really think I care if somebody doesn't like me?
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
Is that person stopping my money? Like,
boomers.
If they're stopping me for the cops or whatever the situation is, you're going to have to learn some really good personality skills, and you're going to have to really figure it out. And sometimes that's not the case. And sometimes, that's your reality. But am I going to walk around and scream? No, I'm not going to sit here and act like a fool, because guess what happened in everybody's faces? Guess what happened in every single Black person's face? Asian people got oppressed.
Nobody's saying nothing.
For one little year.
Nobody's saying
y'all
nothing.
have been oppressed supposedly your whole lives.
Right.
Asian people got oppressed for one little year.
In America.
And got laws changed. Laws. And the reason why they got laws changed, and the reason why they dealt with that situation so quickly, so fast, is because Asian people contribute to the economy.
Yeah.
Asian people are, like he said,
fund this economy, or is what the money they're borrowing from. They can't have Asian people not wanting to come to America, because Asian people help make America great. How many stores do Asians have in America? And this is not a racist thing.
This is not a racist thing. I just
want y'all to know this.
No, I want you to really see the bigger issue is not, oh, this person's oppressing me. The biggest issue is the issues we put on ourselves. Why you're not holding your money and creating wealth as a community? Why are you not, as a community, coming together to build a stronger?
This is where you see where the confusion has happened in this generation that we're talking about. They don't hold their own for their people. They will march on the street for violence and all that stuff like that. But how come, like you're saying, and there's no racism in anything that we're saying. Why is the Asians already have their laws in place for them to be protected?
Right.
And then the black people who have been oppressed all this time,
black children
have been killed
in the street
by police officers, by this, by that. And there is no law being changed. And you know what the difference was? Is, like you said, they did invest into this economy, and so have the black people, because we're the main consumers. Hey, we shop,
but the black people kill themselves.
Yeah, that's
you don't go into Asian communities and see Asians killing themselves.
No.
You don't see Asians sitting here degrading themselves and putting themselves on low thing. You don't walk into a welfare thing and see Asians sitting there asking that much for welfare.
Maybe.
You don't see it much. You don't see it much, because if an Asian person has a problem, they will call their cousin.
Yeah.
They will call the friend that they met. They will call that person to give them a job or a place to sit or clean their house, to do something. Yeah. Black people don't do that, because that's not the idea of the black person. They run to the government.
And you know what
the biggest issue the black people have is because they turn the government into their god, and they run to the government for their problems to get things. That's why we all unconsciously, as millennials, who I'm sure just had the opportunity to vote when they did vote, or all that certain times, you went blindly and voted for Obama. Yeah, I'm going to vote for Obama. He's black. Why? Why was your thinking like that?
Well, our thinking's like that. First of all, I'm going to be honest, it's because he was a black man when I first voted. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick him because he's black. Yeah, I'm going to pick him.
But if he was a black man, if he was a black man who was running as a Republican,
I still would have picked him.
No, you would not.
I would have picked him.
No black person voted for Ben Carson.
Oh, he must have not.
No black person voted for. There was Condoleezza Rice. In Bush's cabinet, nobody cares about her calling. Nobody cared about those black people, because they weren't the right black people. Right?
Exactly. First of all, we have been enslaved
so it's a lie.
To only think as Democrats. Think as Democrats. Think as Christians. Think this is our path, and that was our problem. It was like, we need to know more than what we're giving. But, they black people weren't allowed to read. Black people weren't allowed to do this. Black people weren't allowed to do this. So now we have this kind of stigma,
but then,
which was not true, because
that
a lot of people
went.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The baby boomers, that wasn't their time.
This is when they could have hustled, continued the hustle, and
said, nah, we don't need to mess with y'all. We good. Segregation's cool. We good. We don't need your schools. We'll learn ourselves. We'll teach ourselves. They got finesse. This is the biggest thing. It's like, this is what I say, guys. Y'all got to know what finessing is. Sorry, but you have to know what finessing is, because when you know you're being finessed, you know how to react.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I super have an attitude with this, but
yeah, you're so angry with them. They made a mistake.
I understand that there was a mistake made. I understand, but the point of it is that what you do today, and the fact that they still blindly believe and do the same things is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, because it shows you, like he said, they don't care about their kids. They don't care about generational wealth. Why is it that
because
once
they thought that we would be able to reach that same choices that they made, that their Social Security will reach all the way to ours, and that we would be able to sustain this way of living? And it's like, do you know that this went crashing and burning down because y'all made
it was faulty?
Yeah. First of all, all, it didn't sound right. Y'all didn't even ask. That's the thing about this community. It's like they don't ask no questions. They don't need no research. They don't need a second opinion.
They voted blindly for Joe Biden after he went on a black television network
and told Charlamagne that he ain't black.
If they don't vote for him.
And y'all, does Charlamagne still mess with him?
Y'all let a black woman who ain't never claimed she was ever really black and claimed all her mixed ethnicities at the same time.
She don't even want to do her job.
And said she wasn't even doing anything for the black folk. She wasn't going to do anything just for the black people. This woman, y'all took her and said she's black. Mm-hmm. And but who's doing that? Who's doing that? This is not, and the only people who are actually doing that is not the younger generation. It's not the ones who are thinking. No, they think the younger generation, if they're somewhat political, they're like, I'm libertarian. That's the new thing. I'm a libertarian socialist, which is another thing with socialism and Marxism and all this other isms that are all systems to, I believe in a system that minds our business. Mm-hmm. I do believe in that. Mm-hmm. And there's no system a black person can adopt and be happy and doing well in unless he is or she is the in creator. Her own system that is created with her and her people involved. Period. I don't believe. What do you think? I'm sorry. I'm just a lot.
No, I it's so much to talk about, and just like to see the things that they actually allowed to, and then it's just like they didn't even see nothing. All they did was approve it because they didn't want to do the hard work. Right. All they know is slavery. Right. All they know is oppression.
That's
all
what they kept giving them.
Exactly. So that's all they
keep marching.
Had. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's like, then we had the drugs come in and lose our minds.
And then the hip hop.
Oh God.
We didn't even get to the hip hop.
Yeah. So
we didn't get to the music.
Exactly.
Because that is also fueling the idea of this individualism of whatever he's saying is basically, I'm going to stun on my black brother. Why is the hip hop songs all about, and we're killing this, killing she's that, she's a bee, it ain't nothing, blah, blah, blah. And it's cool. We could go into the dark side and, but then when you realize that's people's realities, why are we praising this? Why are we making these people rich?
It just don't make sense. And they're hypocrites because they're supposedly Christian people listening to that kind of music, living that kind of lifestyle, drinking drugs, all that stuff. And it's like, and then they're going to say in Jesus' name. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's hypocritical.
Why?
But it's okay to be hypocritical
no, it's not.
If you say, see, this is the thing, is people don't want to deal with the reality of what they're doing. A lot of what people say because I have unblocked my vision and listening and hearing a long time ago.
Yeah.
So when people say something, I hear what you're actually saying. And I'm like, you guys have no idea what spells you're actually saying. And don't put none of that on me. And this is unconsciously because, like I said, they're like you said, they only know slavery.
Yeah,
all their movies are black people slaves,
and and putting people down, just
making fun of the black person.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and then they make fun of themselves.
Exactly.
Why? Like, okay, so you said Ellen DeGeneres and Tiffany Haddish has been taking over her job. Right?
Oh, I never knew that.
Right.
Okay.
Tiffany Haddish is not funny. Tiffany Haddish is only known to be ghetto.
I can't.
Why are they putting just a girl who acts super ghetto up as a black woman? Where people are very impressionable, especially if they come from another country and they don't necessarily know all the way of American dynamic. Because this is how diverse America is, that everybody's going to see you. The world is going to be your stage. Why would they choose a woman portraying a ghetto, uneducated woman? Not saying that she isn't, because she's very intelligent, actually.
And she's like spiritual too.
Why is that the character that they have to portray for her?
And the same goes with the men. Why does every black man have to dress like a woman?
Why does every black man have to dress like a child? Why does every black man have to walk around with jeans on
with their
and
butt hanging out
and a t-shirt and looking like they're in high school? Why is that the image for the proper black man? Is going to have a tracksuit on. He's going to basically look like he has no job and no real contribute to the community.
And they
That's
have
what
that
he's
new
gonna look
show,
like.
that new show, since we're gossiping about the entertainment industry, that Mike Epps show that everybody's like, oh my God, that's like the best show. Like, what?
But in reality, it's showing the
black woman working hard. The guy, I know, like, he owned a garage or something. Mike Epps had owned a garage where he fixed his car, but he's mad cheap with it.
right.
And like, I seen one episode, so it was like, it's just so ghetto. I'm just like,
and
why
it's
does
not
the black
reality.
person have to be ghetto?
Yeah.
Why does he have to, like?
That's the reality they
Why
push,
does he
but
have
that's
to do
not
that?
the 100% reality of every black person. So why are they choosing
And then also-
that image? That's what I'm saying. Why is that image being pushed, and why are our black leaders allowing that image being pushed? This is the and you know that the children who you can be impressionable, you're going to affect them and how they live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we as a black community accepting this? This is the question that nobody who actually has a real mind, they are not doing this to any other community. You're watching Crazy Rich Asians.
Mm-hmm.
We're the Crazy Rich Africans.
Oh, they're out there.
Because we know that they exist, but where's the show? Why do we have to be blackish and talk about white people things? Why does our identity surround white people and how they oppressed us and how much so different we are from them?
But the crazy thing is that we're all human beings. They oppressed our mindset by thinking that it's drama because that person's white, that person's black, that person's yellow, that person's this. First of all, we're all bleeding red, are we? If not, then we're aliens.
Right.
Like, and even if an alien came through, y'all would have been messing with that alien more than you was messing with yourself. Because you're like, oh, that alien's fly. I'm about to start dressing like that alien. Right. Like, y'all are really backwards here. Let's just get it together.
Hey, Crypto Dark Pool, welcome. Buck breaking or propaganda. That's sorry. Hi, ladies. Yeah. So what we were talking about was the video that we had up from
one of our listeners who suggested that we would listen to a philosophy about the baby boomers.
Yeah.
And we just had our discussion and our say on how we felt about the baby boomers. And we just feel like they have let us down, and it's because they were just brainwashed to just think that, you know, it's important to think about individually themselves than their culture.
I think it's not even that. I think they were brainwashed to not think. I think that was the biggest thing. It's like, don't think. We'll think for you.
We'll think for you. We just got Martin Luther King here.
Yes.
Guess what? And guess what we're going to do after? We're going to kill him. So we're going to teach y'all to kill people.
So that can become your Jesus. And you could know that in his name, we marched. See that, and that was what we were.
And if you do more digging, Martin Luther King himself was a little coony too. You know, we want to talk about coons.
Because we have to remember, anybody who they put in front of you,
how is he famous?
Not your person,
right?
That's the person that they put there. Do you really think your oppressor, who you all think is the conqueror, the oppressor of your people?
We don't do accents here.
Oh, you don't do the accents?
No, we don't do accents.
I do have an accent, so whatever. Do you really think they're going to give you the truth? This is the thing. Like, people don't live in reality. People lie. People finesse. Mm-hmm. People have their own agendas. And black people just act like there's good people out here after the world's been telling us. This is the reality. This is like how women sometimes think when they're like with a guy and they're like, oh, well, he's going to do good. It's like, girl, he cheated on you. He going to keep cheating on you. He ain't never going to stop cheating on you. Well, he said he wasn't. He said he wasn't. Girl, when are you going to get it? This is the same thing that black people Unfortunately,
I don't like that we are bringing our people down. Now, we have all type of races in here, and we're not attacking our kind. It's just that
why would that be an attack? And that's the problem. Everybody's always a victim. Nobody can be told the truth because of your feelings. This is the issue. You can't get anything done with your feelings unless it's anger and you're ready to do some work.
What are the black people supposed to do? What
the black people are supposed to do is to stop, first of all, blindly voting Democrat. Stop being a liberal. Stop playing their game. Pull out. Say, you know what? I'm going to sit this out. I'm going to let y'all play y'all game and see how far y'all get without us. Because now we have to, like we said before, black people, we need to have a meeting. We need to push everybody else out. And this is for real. Like, if you really want change, then everybody got to get real fucking serious. And I don't care who. Oh, I'm sorry that I cursed. Everybody got to get real serious. And everybody has to say, you know what? All y'all white liberals, all y'all white people think, oh, thank you for your service. Please step out, close the door behind you. And then black people, we need to have a real conversation.
Like everybody else is having a
meeting.
Like
everybody else, like the Asians had a meeting. That's why they got their stuff done. Like the white people, like the Hispanic people, all these people got their stuff. We need to have our meeting, not with people who we invited to the
not celebrities,
not the celebrities, but the real people, the real movers and shakers in the community, the real entrepreneurs, business people, the people who have real capital, who can make a difference. We all need to come together, not with their groups and their organizations, but within our own. And I'm not talking about nothing that's funded by the government. This is the issue. And we have, this is why we were saying the younger generation, there was a black conservative kid, I cannot remember his name, but I'm going to look for the video so we can bring it up. And he was talking about like, yeah, me and my 21 years old, me and my friends who are also his age, put a school together, bought a school, put it together, funding it completely for themselves through donations for people who believe in their cause, not through the government, actually teaching young black boys the proper skills and knowledge that they need to be great in their lives. This is what black people need to do. Stop playing their game and start taking what you learn from all of that stuff and start implementing it individually. And we'll see a bigger change. You start schooling your children, you start policing your streets, you start buying black and really doing it, meaning it doesn't have to be segregation. You segregate yourself, period. The same way everybody else does. You can go into Little Armenia. You can go into the Filipinos. You can even go into Little Ethiopia. The black neighborhood is just called the hood. It's not even
and then
called
you go
nothing.
Into the hood. All the store owners are Hispanic people, Armenian people, Chinese.
So that's why they can't even call it a black neighborhood, because it's not even a black neighborhood. It's just the hood. So this is the issue. So if you're African, meaning the Ethiopian, the Nigerian who comes over here and 20% of them turn around and be doctors. If we could look at our other black counterparts that have done the same thing, maybe we can learn. Instead of trying to look for acceptance, be a victim and say somebody's oppressing me. How about we stop this game right now and mind our, in the reality of it, mind our business from them, not each other. We can still mind our business with each other and build each other and put out the message that we want, not the message that the rappers tell you, not the message that these fake moguls tell you, not the message that is telling you that your biggest hope and dream is to become a rapper, basketball player, anything like that. You know me, I be stopping or whatever. Dane Coway is fired too. Who's Dane Coway? I don't even know who that is.
Let us know who that is.
Look it up. But yeah, I think that right there is that's the real conversation that needs to be had. And the what we need to say as a people is why, how is it that we can all individually know that that's what we need to do, but nobody's doing it? No, none of your people that you support, that you buy into, that you want to be like, none of them are saying the obvious truth. All they're telling you is continue to, vote Democrat and be black and eat chicken wings and kill yourself. And,
black people are the ones with
wear
the
your
highest
mask
diabetes and all that.
Yeah, you're
stuff.
overweight and you're a baby mama. 70% of you won't be married, and you're just losers in life. And black men, you're the bottom of the totem pole. So yeah. Keep on living in that identity, because guess what that identity gets you? These white people's pity, and we all want their pity, right? That's ridiculous. Why was that ever okay? Why is it okay for somebody? This is the real problem that I have with people, is like when they're sitting there and they're telling us, my white privilege and this and this. It's like, if somebody's kind of telling like I have white privilege, that's kind of like disrespectful in itself. It's like, I don't need you to admit you have white privilege. If it's going to be me against another person, I'm not necessarily looking at their skin color and thinking that's going to be the definition of, say, if it's a job. I'm not thinking, because say it was another woman, because this woman is white, she's going to get the job over me. I'm thinking it's either me or her, and if she's better at me at it, she's going to get it. But if I'm better at her, then I'm going to get it. Or if I charm this person more, I'm going to get it. I never look at color, and I've never been in the situation to have to think that way, because I look at life like a real life thing. I've been around real racist people, older people who were supposedly that generation older, that were completely racist. And I've seen them change in my face, meaning that racist stuff can't hold up in your face.
That's for you. That's for you. But for other people, that may not be the same.
You go, girl.
Thank you. I know she's going on.
Yeah, well, that's not everybody else's experience, but that's my own personal confidence and the energy that I exude. I don't go into a situation thinking I'm going to lose. I go into every situation wanting to get the same outcome that I want attended to get. So I'm not going to sit here and say this person is not going to mess with me because I'm black. I'm not that. Then I'm shooting myself in the foot already.
Yeah, I never want to hear anybody speak like that. Like,
I don't. Your opinion of who you think you are and that's none of my damn business. What's going on in your mind, and I don't care to change your mind. That's the part that is annoying. Like, you're gonna have to respect me or da 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 da. Like, you're gonna. I'm a victim and stuff like that. Like, you think I care about changing somebody else's mind about me? If they don't like me, that's their problem.
She's hot and heavy tonight. Hot and heavy about the situation, but it is. Sorry, it's going deep. It's going in the water, and
I'm gonna stop talking and let you take over with that conversation.
I just, at the end of the day, the moral of the story is change your mindset. People are not out here trying to oppress you. People are not out here doing what the media told you that they're trying to do. So many people are getting killed by the cops and all this stuff, and think like this. Watch out, guys. Like, be safe out there. And it's like, I'm safe.
Because you know what? The real response to that is like, okay, if we're being stopped by the cops and stuff like that, then where are our real lawyers? Not these Hollywood lawyers that don't really fight cases, that just come out to the press conferences to say something so they can sue them and get some money. Yeah. Not those fake lawyers. I'm talking about our own community. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Close the door to these other people. Yeah. Not the ones who took the deals, because they're not on our side. We're talking about the people who actually care about getting the community up and running.
This is the thing.
If that was the issue, hold on. Yeah. If that's the issue, why aren't we, as a community, there are black judges, there are black lawyers, there are black police officers. Yeah. How are none of these black people holding anybody accountable? Yeah, who are, because that person who went through that is going to pass their case, is going to pass through a bunch of black people's hands. Yeah, the black people make up a lot of the government. They work in government positions. How are we gonna let that slide? See, that's the problem. They looking for something that they never gonna get, because don't want to do the work. Like, you can't act tough when it's time for you to be and do something, y'all all fake. This is what I'm saying.
People
act like they about
positions,
it. Exactly, because those Asian people wasn't they wasn't about it. They was like, y'all not gonna do that. We're gonna change something. Our celebrities are gonna come out like, we stopping this now. Y'all not gonna do this. And black people, y'all sit there, please stop doing this. Please stop doing this. While other people saying y'all not gonna do this. See, that's a different. There's a command.
That's why they don't respect us. Everything that you just said, it's like that's why the lack of respect.
People be acting like they gangsters, and it's like y'all not doing no gangster and stuff. None of y'all nothing. If y'all not even handling your situation, like it's so hard. It's not that hard, bro.
Mama,
it's not that hard.
Mama, listen. Okay. First of all, we got mad gangsters. We got so much hoods that it's populars. We got Bloods. We got Crips. We got all these things,
and they're supposedly so scared.
Yeah, where are they to stand up for the community? Where are all these politicians, all these judges, all these things?
Where's the real leaders who's not going in? Okay, so where's the real leaders who y'all give money to, the BLM, who's going into these hoods, taking these gangbangers and actually giving them real military training and teaching them something behind all this testosterone that they got, that they ready to kill and die for? Why don't you turn them into your own soldiers and your own warriors? And then when you guys want something done, like the black people, since y'all love marching and stuff like that, or going to stuff, you have your own people be security for them and do the things that they need to do.
But didn't the LGBTQ,
where you don't need to be security,
didn't the LGBT
the LGBTQ in New York Pride said we don't even need cops. So how can they got
authorized to do
that, ban the cops? Yeah. So how can they ban the cops, but black people in the black community can't ban the cops?
Why is everybody able to do everything? Black people ain't able to do nothing.
And why y'all ain't come up with that idea? And why Obama didn't come up with that idea? Why Joe Biden ain't coming up with that idea since to y'all?
No, he came up with an idea to make sure that every race
takes the economy taken care of, etc. Yeah. The same way Obama made sure that the transgenders and gays got their rights instead of black people.
Exactly. And the same goes with the celebrities who are melanated, who are out there, who can't do nothing for the black people, but they're sending millions of dollars to Africa, millions of dollars to other places, helping little things. But like all the money that they got, all the rappers, all those people, they can combine together and make a change. But could they? No, because they're under contract.
Because guess what happened? It's the same thing. Because guess what? Black Americans aren't going to ever.
They will.
Ever. No.
Maybe not.
They will never come from under the boot of the white man. And this is the thing. Even if y'all see a black woman president, which they will force down your throat, even if you see a black person, it will only be a puppet of the white man. It will never be a black person, because once that black person adopted the idea of a white Jesus, of society. What? Is this not true? Is this not true? Your identity is based in your oppression. They gave you the slave movies back to back to back to brainwash you. You weren't there, but you know exactly what it looks like. Why would I want to go through that? Why would I want to know exactly what that looked? Why was it so important to imprint that image in my mind? Why would we need to glorify? Like, literally, they're saying this is your story. If they really gave a crap about black people, why would Black History Month be talking about our fall, our bottom? They never talk about Black Wall Street. You have to do independent research. Not on any mainstream network do they even bring up, even Black conservatives who think that they know the answers and say, oh, well, it's because of welfare and this and this and this. They themselves don't bring up Black Wall Street. And why is that? Because once you start revealing the truth of the system that we keep on trying to play and be a part of, you realize that they will always, if you choose any of their side, you always will be on the floor.
And that's the same thing that goes with, last week we talked about Stargate. I don't know if anybody watched that, but as we continue to watch it, and I'm like, wow, this is a great show, great movie. And where's the Black civilization? Like, I'm not really seeing them. And it's like, oh, you guys can't talk about our civilization. Oh, but you can on Wakanda Forever. That's when y'all thought y'all got
because
that.
That's like, fake. because that's
Really?
not a real thing. See, that's
it's impossible
for us. Exactly, because that's why they gave it to you in a fairy tale, in a superhero movie. Right. They didn't give it to you in a real way, because if they gave it to you in your truth, it's crazy. They won't. You watch shows like Stargate. You watch shows that really tell you the truth about what's going on in Earth, in outer space, and all these stuff. Right? They never put Black characters, not because they don't want to put Black characters or the person is not necessarily Black. They don't want Black people watching. They don't want Black people to know anything about this nerdy outer space, interstellar traveling.
Worry about your inner problem. How you?
They want you to worry about. They want you to worry about what you're wearing, what your rapper said, what's the next gossip about. That's why they have Wendy Williams sitting there. Yeah, have a Black woman chapping about gossip. Don't have her talk about nothing else, and give her a running show for 10 years. That's what they get. But us, why would we? Yeah, we're gonna run these other shows, and we're gonna run these shows silently, and we're gonna do it so our intellectuals and our people can get that information. And when Black people get it, if they're not woken enough, they won't connect it to themselves. So then they'll give us the superiority and think that this is all our knowledge. This is the finesse. See, once we start opening our eyes to the finesse, it all becomes very clear.
And the thing about it is like, why won't they let us experience that? And it's not them that won't let us experience it. It's ourselves, because we as people in our mindset, we're like, okay, let's just continue the rhythm of what they gave us. Let's keep bouncing to the beat. And it's like, guys, wake up. Like, let's get this stuff together. Well, let's see what this, Joe?
Joe says Black leaders have been monetarily castrated or sexually compromised. Racism isn't as real on the streets as it is on television. They are playing all of us. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly, yes, Joe, you got it. Point blank, period. And I say this all the time, like, nobody's racist, like, straight up in your face, unless they are crazy. The only people that's really said anything crazy to me was a homeless person.
That's what I was like, yeah. Like, racist, the only racist slur is because I didn't give him $1. He was like, you're Black, whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
And
that's not going to hurt me,
that's
sir.
Not gonna
I'm
hurt
still
me.
eating.
Yeah. You're the one who's still... And
you're talking about Black people like you're poor and you're over here begging for change. Get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
like,
that's the reality, is like, the Black leaders have been compromised. Right. Yes. They aren't leaders. No. They're fake. And I think that a lot of people should have woken up from Obama.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't do nothing for Black people should have made Black people
good in Black people's eyes.
And that's the flex problem. Right there.
Oh, look at Obama.
That's the flex right there.
Beautiful. My idol. I can't wait to have that kind of life. Like, excuse me?
That's the flex right there, because then they play you. That's why Obama and them, they came into the White House and all they did with Black people was, we just gonna throw Beyonce and Jay-Z in there and throw all y'all basketball players so we can keep on entertaining y'all. The LGBT, they wasn't gonna sit down there like, you gonna pass our laws. He's like, nah, I got y'all. Let me entertain these Black people real quick, but I'm gonna do something for y'all and tell the Black people, yo, you know, I can't really do nothing. But when Trump come in, he's like, oh, executive order, we closing down the border, we're doing this. This guy, oh, executive order, we're doing this, we're doing this.
He was letting a lot of Black people
Asian
out of jail.
Yeah. But at the same time, Obama act like he couldn't put not one executive order.
Take care of the. Listen,
he couldn't do
the Asian
one
people.
thing.
Let me tell you, last year the Asian people got attacked.
It's a game.
But remember, in Chicago, his hometown, they were killing people crazy out there.
Right.
No executive order.
No executive order. No stopping it.
No.
Because this
he didn't even announce anything.
It's part of the optics. It's part of
but
the
they're going to announce,
people.
please.
They need you guys to stay in this low vibrational energy.
That's true.
They need you to stay in this low vibrational energy. Yeah. Black people will always, for them, be faced with racism, and this is the
for the rest of our lives.
So. That's the image they want you to keep on listening.
No,
that's the idea that they
they're pushing, and it's
Right.
not going to work because too many people interracial dating. People are not playing this game. Like he said, it doesn't add up. The media, we're not the boomers. We're not believing everything that they're saying. We're not even watching the news, so we don't even know.
Right.
So social media is probably telling the kids to say, hey, there's racism. Hey, be careful. All that stuff like that. But people are really like,
girl, if you look onto the thing, the people that you see is talking is like an Asian woman, this white woman who thinks she knows facts is speaking for black people and feminism. This
black woman,
this transgender ma'am sir is telling is a black transgender maybe is telling the story or whatever,
or a Democrat woman screaming
right. Or something like that's the images, but the real people who are out here who really care about living a prosperous, healthy, happy life.
No. We got some comments in here.
Yes, Reggie says, I remember y'all from Seven Bomar a while back.
Oh, what's up?
Hi. Thank you for coming in. What's up, tribe? I remember.
Keep speaking out.
Keep speaking out. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have to speak out because in the reality of it, it's like the answers be so clear. Mm-hmm. The answer be right there. It's like that's the simple answer, and then we just cry about it. And we just make a big deal about it.
I really don't like how we're so victimized. And it's not a lot of us, but it's a lot of us. And it's like, really, seriously? It's like there's
I don't want to be a victim anymore.
That's why I'm not
a victim anymore.
Yeah. I don't even talk to those type of people. I'm like, no.
If you want to be a victim,
go ahead, be a victim.
Be a victim. We're here for what
you're going through is not what I'm going through.
We're here for solutions.
Yeah,
you got a problem, let's fix it. And how is it going to get fixed? Because like you said, in the reality of it, like you had a time that happened to you. And this is like what's happened in the world. Yeah, with the transgender.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Acting a fool. Like, first of all,
start your story.
Okay, first of all, I went to court. Never been to court for anything, but I went to court, and this LGBTQ whatever was having a panic attack, and
transgender female.
Yes, she,
girl,
whatever.
Yeah,
and he felt attacked because of who he was. First of all, he's not even comfortable with who he is, so he thinks everybody's out there to get him, everything, or she, whatever. And so the cops were following him, supposedly. See, I can't even keep up with what their identity is.
Ma'am,
sir was acting a fool.
Sir,
couldn't even breathe, acting a fool, and threw himself on the floor. And everybody is like, giving him the attention that, sir, ma'am, giving them the attention that she wanted. And the guy was like, are you okay, dude? He was like, don't call me a dude. Like, I bought these things. I'm a girl. I'm a woman. And it was like, F, like everybody just doesn't respect me. Like, why do they to me, they have mental health issues. They're not. Was that the point of the story that you wanted me to pull?
No, I wanted you to pull. Yeah, your story is a little. She's not that great at telling her own story.
Right.
If somebody didn't hear the story, it's like we don't know what you're talking about. Well, but basically, I was just saying, like, from what you told me from that experience was now the people who can fit into a victim column, whether you're Black, whether you're LGBTQ, whether now you're Asian, whether you're a minority, Muslim, whatever, use it. Use the victim card because the victim card allows you to act a fool. And this is the reality that we live in. Act a fool, record it on your phone, tell the cops they're nothing, and that they're going to kill you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that exactly what that guy said. The police came and he was like, oh, well, what are you here for? Let me help you out. And he was like, oh, no, you're going to shoot me. And he was like, I'm not going to, it's okay. I'm just trying to help you out. No, you're gonna kill me, and I'm not trying to die today. And I'm like,
but why does he know that? Why does he know that? Because it's too much TV. Too much. This is the thing. People think the news is real, and I'm like, I live in LA. I promise you, it's not real.
You know when he said that part when he was like, "You're gonna shoot me. You're gonna kill me." He looked at me like, "Oh, you're involved too. You're a victim too, so he might kill me because like." because black people get killed by the cops.
I'm not gonna save you.
Excuse me.
He thinks that a black woman's gonna come to his savior. Like black women's been caping.
He fell on the floor.
Black women's been caping for everybody else's cause. Black women's been there supporting LGBTQ, even though it didn't support them. When black women sat there and supported feminism, even though feminism wasn't talking to the black woman, it was specifically talking to white women. Black women have continued to be used as the pawn to everybody, including the black man. So black woman is the number one. We have to learn the lessons that our mothers and grandmothers made, so we don't go and continue to have a generation like this. Is really it's really sad, because at the end of the day, it's like the generations that we produce, the people who we have as a people, this is not good. Like if we really looking at the statistics of what's going on in the black community, with just intellectually, physically, like the food that we eat, like all of that stuff that is just being pushed into the black person is just so toxic. And it's like,
we definitely,
they're surprised you lived this long. So at that point,
well, that's why they're always saying to us, like, you guys have all the diseases,
you guys have all the problems.
You guys are gonna get really bad. That COVID's gonna hit. It's hitting the black people the worst.
But why do they get to say that?
Why? That's what I'm saying.
Why do they get to say that? And why are you guys accepting what they're saying?
Somebody come take the microphone from these people's hands and come stand up for yourself.
Right.
Like, it's a mess out there.
Right. Tone Deaf says, good evening, ladies.
Hi.
Yes, guys, make sure you check us out on Tone Deaf Radio TDR Network so we can be more in your ear yelling about these topics. Like,
tonight we're going off. Not me. I'm just here listening as a
very
audience.
passionate.
I can see that. It's like you are I love everything that you said about how black people can overcome this. Like really having a meeting as a collective. Black people, let's get together. Let's hold this meeting. Let's make a change for ourselves.
And don't make it celebrity.
And don't
make
call
it
the celebrities like. Have the meeting in quiet, because everybody else is having meetings in quiet and peace and making changes and then showing up. That's when when you do your thing and it's like keep quiet until you're done with you have something to show. So that's what we as black people have to do. And it's like, because clearly you gave the celebrities, you gave the mainstream people the opportunity to hold us down, and they didn't. They haven't. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been changed. And we, as people, as regular human beings who have the opportunity to make a change in this world, do need to try to do something to make, for us as individuals, have a better life. Like, if it's money, like helping black people. That's the thing about other nations. They start this whole, what did they call it for the Haitian people? They called it, basically they started like this pyramid scheme where you're able to get money. Everybody puts a pot in and then you'll get it 1 month or whatever. Like different things like we can implement to make black people have a difference in their lives. Just like we did in Wall Street. Like we had our own banking system. We had our own schools. And which what we're doing now. And the younger kids are actually,
and that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was actually just looking at that. Yeah. King Randall is his name, the 20-year-old black conservative who he and his friends funded and put together a school for black young boys in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
So right there, not funded by the government, doesn't have anything to do with the government. So there's no way that they have to teach the kids. This is something, even right there, Dr. Umar, who has been doing this whole school thing for how many years, asking for donations. This 21-year-old, him and his friends who are around the same age, did it nice, quick, and easy. Stop believing into these main street woke people who y'all think they're there to keep you mad and keep you docile and keep you fighting the wrong fight.
About racism.
It's not all about racism. It's about what you do in your economy. What kind of, this is like we said, the reason why Asian people got their stuff done was because they contribute positively to America. They are the reason.
But so have we. We literally.
No, I'm talking about in a way that Black people dying by police brutality. This whole idea that is contributing to the idea that they have for Black people in America. So
it's like, why do
that whole the
so
way that life is going right now for Black people in America is on code for them.
Yeah,
for them, this is exactly, we're on the right track with the Black people. When Asians start getting hate, that's the wrong track. We don't need them getting hate. No. That's for the Blacks. That's for the Mexicans. That's for the others. We need the Asians to be on our side because they're going to be running things, and we need to make sure that they're good with us.
Yeah, so that we have our
and we owe them some money. So, buddy, we can't do that.
And first of all, we own First of all,
guys,
we're not even white. It's not even a color thing. Y'all are just not.
It's that's the facts. It's a power thing.
It's a power thing, and it's
bigger than it's even bigger than that.
Bigger than everything
because it's even bigger than that, but. If we're gonna keep it on a surface level so people can at least digest it.
Why won't they wake up the people? Wake them up, let them know the truth so we can deal with the real stuff, the outer space stuff, the things that's really going on. Right, the kuaos and all those mothers. And
the
all
real
those things,
problem.
The real stuff that they want to tell y'all. They telling y'all.
I'm not talking about they host. See, y'all too busy looking at the host. I'm talking about the real energy behind the host that's been pushing this whole agenda. But that's for another conversation, guys. But thank you guys for hanging out with us this evening.
Wake up, people, and get your stuff together.
Yes.
Just unlearn what you learned. And stop letting y'all leaders try to tell y'all who to be. And
stop trying to let y'all rappers tell y'all who to be. Stop trying to be like Nicki Minaj, Instagram men. Stop trying to live a life of.
We didn't even get to talk about what we wanted to talk about. We were so busy in this topic.
That's what we have next week. And guys, next week
it's our birthday. We're gonna be 1 year old.
We're gonna be 1 year old.
1 year.
So we're gonna be celebrating that next week.
Yes.
Tones, sorry, I can't see.
Yeah.
They're on the side of the Asians because low-key Asians run America. It ain't even low-key. We all know they run America, and they're going to take over America, and they're going to keep on taking over. They're going to keep on taking over because it's their time. We ain't got no money. And Joe Biden is purposely tanking the economy. But guys, just because he's doing that, that's when you have to strike.
Yeah, also,
the iron is hot. Let's bring that up real quick.
Real quick. How does everybody feel about the currency, like Bitcoin going down? Like, do you feel like
because Elon Musk making words?
Yeah, like exactly. Guys, believe in your leaders. Like that is not your leader. Just because he made Tesla, don't mean
you
that
have
he knows
to understand when the world seems like it's crashing down, and get out the market. Yeah. This is when you buy it. When it's low. This is when everybody gets rich. This is how they reset the wealth. They did it in the .com era. They're doing it now because we're gonna change currencies into cryptocurrency, and now they need people to lose the idea of Bitcoin and let it go down.
Another thing as well, I think a lot of people may have pulled out because now the government is now involved. Like if you make 10K in Bitcoin, it's automatically going to let the government know that you owe they're going to start taxing you for that. So I feel like that may have made people make a decision.
The money in the US dollar is going to crash, and since we're moving into a new world order, we need new money. Exactly. The new money is going to be cryptocurrency because we are going to be completely electric. We're not going to be using paper and wasting time doing that. This is
already like electric.
Right.
Anyway,
Akon has a smart world. Like this is the reality. We need to really start looking into different news. We need to start looking into different things because great show. These chicks are busted. Okay. Thank you. Not all Asians, Chinese, right? Where's the thumbs down to this thing? Laugh out loud. Okay.
See ya.
Thanks for the comment.
I know.
But not all Asians, Chinese. Yeah. Well, it is Asian. Not all Asians if they don't have the mindset of making it. But even if you're Vietnamese, I'm talking about just the mentality of I'm going to help my other friend come up. That idea of like literally bringing yourself into America, making a way for yourself, becoming successful. That's in most Asian people, whether they're Korean, whether they're thing. That is, and people in America, white people, don't really see a difference in Chinese and thing. Yes, the Chinese will run America. They're in Africa going crazy. But I'm saying the whole Asian mentality, the whole way of that lifestyle is what's gonna be pushed and what's gonna be the reality. But yeah.
And it is their mentality. And another thing is like, and their thing about it, their culture as Asians, period, is like in all other cultures as well, even in African, people stick together. And that's the thing about Black people. We don't see much of us sticking together unless it's talking about something to hate on something each other stupid. Or something dumb, nothing to make a change. Like all these other nations are making changes. Like, so at the end of the day,
just like that person who commented, like, we're trying to put out a message and all they can say is that we don't look good in your eyes. Like, that's ridiculous, but that's the level that's what we're dealing with. We're trying to talk about something instead of having an intellectual conversation and saying something that at least would open our minds to what maybe you think that we said that you didn't agree with. It's like, no, I'm going to come at your looks because intellectually I have nothing else to say. But
you don't have nothing to say to help the Black people?
Let's move on.
Good night.
Reggie says, do you notice Blacks are Black and Whites are Blacks are Black and whites are white, but everyone else, Mexicans are Mexican, Asians are Asians, Canadians are Cajun, Russians are Russians. Right. And that is the thing. It's like the two. Well, and I thought about this like funnily because I was watching something and they spread it out kind of like that in Pacific Islanders. And the main thing with that is like, why y'all letting people call y'all a color?
They let us do this. Is
the people who they call Blacks. That means you're just blank Black because you don't have a culture.
Yeah.
So you're cultureless. The ones they call white, you're cultureless.
Yeah.
Because they don't call Italians white. They consider them white, but if an Italian person, you meet them, they're going to tell you, I'm Italian. They're not going to say, I'm white. They're going to say, I'm Italian.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a culture
thing. Russians are going to say they're Russians, but they're Asians.
They're Asians, but they identify to their culture.
Right.
And this is the same thing because even for a Black, Nigerian person, they don't consider themselves Black.
No, they don't.
They consider themselves Nigerian.
Yeah. Haitians,
like we are. I would say I'm Black because it makes people understand, but I still identify as myself as Haitian. That is I'm Haitian because there's a culture there. Black people don't have a culture. We have this made up American culture, but your identity in this American culture is to be Black, and that's low. And your identity in the American culture to be white is high, so you're just white. That's the reality.
Yeah, I remember one guy I knew, he was from something. He was like, yeah, but I just write I'm white. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. What was he, Cuban?
Probably. He was definitely not white.
Right.
So I'm like, but you're not white. I mean, you could pass for a white person, but
you're not
white.
Right.
He was like, it just makes it easier. And I'm like, okay, you see?
And it just makes it easier. But then when it's time to call out and say, oh, well, who do you stand? They have their corners to stand with.
Yeah, they're going to stand with the white people.
Right. Joe says tight families. Right. They have tight families.
They're going to always help each other out. Let me tell you something. Someone from Asia, they're going to get them a job when they come to America. They're going to have somewhere to sleep, even if they're going to sleep in the same bed. It don't even matter.
Let me tell you something.
For other cultures too.
My family
does that.
I lived with people came from Haiti and came to live with us when I was a kid. Yeah. My mom and my family opened up our houses to people coming from, like, say, a friend's daughter needed to come to America and she was going to study school here. Guess where she was staying? At my house. Guess who was making sure she went and got a job or picked her or made sure I did. Guess how she was going to figure out how to speak English? We were going to teach her. this is how the reality of when you don't, and that's really just coming into America, is like you kind of have to stick with your people because they can understand your language. They understand like the culture that you come from. In America, you would think, and a lot of it is because everybody in every country is brainwashed about who Black and white people are in America. So they don't even come into America like the reason why Africans or other nations or even Dominicans and stuff, I'm not Black, I'm not associated with Black people and stuff, because the image that's portrayed of the Black person in America is an image that doesn't necessarily relate to the normal Black person that's not been indoctrinized into that reality. So they're thinking like these people are just crazy, and that's just not me. So then they put themselves in their own corners and all the hate. Because if you go to Boston, there's definitely a place for Haitians. If you go to Miami, there's definitely a place for Haitians. If you go to you know what I'm saying? Like there's a place for Cubans, there's a place for things.
But Black people, they got soul food, so they got their little they got their barbershops, they got their soul food restaurants, and right. But
where do you find those places?
In the hood.
That's the problem. It's not a designated place. It's not a culture. It's not something that's actually like your soul food is not your real food. That's not your real food. That's
they don't even know what their real food. The problem is, it's like they don't even know where their culture starts from.
And that's what I'm saying is we're not asking real questions.
Yeah.
We're still thinking that we came on slave ships. Y'all not even realizing that most of the American Black people in America that's from America are Native Americans. Like y'all Black people really thought y'all came all this way on a slave ship when they had regular Black people, which we seen through the artifacts, the ancient Egypt artifacts that were found here, that they were clearly Black people on this land way before some white Caucasian man came here.
To let you know that there was
that you could see, yes, the Olmec, you could see that there was clearly Black people, and then people just accept that no, there was slave ships. No, that's part of your brainwash. That's part of the deception. Let me make you think that I put you on a chained up and dragged you over here, that your own people deceived you. Yes, there was slavery. Yes, they gave you up and stuff like that. But that story didn't happen like that. They took you on this land because they want you to say you have no connection to this land. You're not native to this land. So don't connect to this land. Don't get close to this land. You don't know this land.
This whole thing is
when this land is your land. I'm living in California. That's Cali. This is your land. This is a Black Queen's land. Are you kidding me? But they think the farthest they'll go is Mexican. But who was in the Mexican land? There wasn't no, like, how you get Hispanics. That's a Spaniard coming to the Native Americans and mixing. That ain't no individual person. That's a white person coming together with a Black person. And how that Native American get there. These Eskimos coming into with Black people. This is all Black people. But again,
it's not our story. It's his story.
So
you make up your own story.
Okay.
We've been rambling all night.
We've been going
hard.
Thank you guys
strong,
for being
and
here.
We definitely want the Black people to know that you are important.
All people.
And all people. Yeah, it's not all about the Black.
There's I mean, and it's not like it's hidden. Like, we can all see if we do the research, everything that we said. Research it. Don't take anything.
Other people from other cultures, other countries, they know the truth. I remember I was watching something, and this other guy had to tell a Black person his story, and he was like, "Wow, I didn't even know all about that." And it's like, oh, I thought you knew. No, they don't want the Black people to wake up in America.
He's like, I don't know nothing about that. Yeah. And it'll be Caucasian, white man, European man going into Africa, learning all about your history, learning all about your culture, and then going and presenting it to his white counterparts and telling them, okay, this is what we found in Africa, and this is how deep it goes. And so this symbolism is this and this and this. And the Black man's like, I don't care about none of that. What's Future dropped? Did Drake come out? Did Nicki Minaj had that baby? What's going on with with Twitter?
What's going on with Portia and her man?
Right.
That she just got. It's just like none of your business.
Jay says, sorry I missed this. Ooh,
it was juicy.
It was good. Like, dang, Jay. We were staying, but we gotta go. Wish you were here. But yes, the conversation was definitely hitting tonight. But thank you guys for being here, tuning in. like, comment, share, subscribe, follow any network that you're on. Nothing's Wrong podcast. If you want,
it's our birthday next Sunday, so
yeah,
come through. We're gonna have a party over here for our birthday. So next Sunday, come celebrate with us,
and we'll do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway for we're gonna do 1 year.
Okay, yeah. So we'll do
a giveaway.
The giveaway you said.
We'll do something. We'll figure it out.
All right.
We'll do like a little giveaway in the chat for next week. So make sure you guys are here next week, 7
so you
p.m.
Can go get your stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to support the channel, you can always hit up the Cash App, especially for our 1 year anniversary.
I know.
$, Nothing's Wrong pod. Is there anything else that we want to leave y'all with? No,
I think we said it all.
I mean, with everything we just said, just always remember. Nothing's wrong.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
See you.
Oh, that's hot.